Step back in time and rediscover the Mother's Day traditions that truly made moms feel loved. These sweet, thoughtful gestures have faded, but maybe it's time we bring them back. Before store-bought cards lined shelves, kids spent days crafting handmade Mother's Day cards with markers, glitter, and crayon hearts. These weren't quick projects. They were true labors of love. Teachers organized classroom craft sessions, and kids hid their creations until Sunday morning. Each card was imperfect but personal. Shaky handwriting, crooked flowers, misspelled mom, and all of it more treasured than any Hallmark poem. Moms would display these masterpieces proudly on refrigerators or bedroom mirrors for weeks. Today, quick e-cards or last-minute purchases have replaced this tradition, often lacking the same heartfelt touch. But those old homemade cards, they captured pure emotion, real, messy, beautiful affection. Every finger-smudged heart, every glitter-sprinkled smiley face told a story. You're the most important person in my world. Reviving this tradition would remind us that what moms want most isn't perfection, it's sincerity. A simple piece of construction paper in 20 minutes could mean more than a $100 gift. Waking up to breakfast in bed, even if it was slightly burnt toast and orange juice with cereal, was once the ultimate Mother's Day tradition. Little hands tiptoed into the kitchen early, supervised or not, by a sleepy dad or grandparent, determined to create a surprise. Sometimes the coffee was too cold, the eggs were runny, or a flower was plucked from the neighbor's yard. But none of that mattered. Moms smiled, hugged, and ate every bite like it was a five-star meal. The joy wasn't in the quality, it was in the gesture, the effort, the innocent excitement of kids wanting to pamper their mother. Over time, this homemade ritual has been replaced by brunch reservations or delivery apps. While convenient, something gets lost in translation. Breakfast in bed wasn't just about food, it was about love served on a tray, messy and marvelous. Maybe it's time we bring back that wobbly tray and those proud little smiles. Before online flower shops offered next-day deliveries, children and families picked wildflowers by hand to present to mom on her special day. Bouquets were spontaneous, vibrant, and imperfect. Sprigs of lilacs, daisies, and dandelions tied together with string or ribbon. The act of searching for the perfect flowers often became an adventure itself, wandering into fields, sneaking into grandma's garden, or even gathering blooms from sidewalk cracks. Moms never cared about the fanciness, only the meaning. Each flower said, "I thought of you today." Now, while floral shops and deliveries have their charm, the raw magic of a hand-picked bouquet has faded. There's something sacred in the simplicity, taking time, noticing beauty, and bringing it home. Reviving this tradition could reconnect us to nature, and to the idea that love doesn't have to be expensive or polished to be priceless. A handful of wildflowers might just mean more than a box of roses. But before we crown the next tradition, let's remember one that truly turned Sunday into a royal day, for one very important queen. In many households, Mother's Day meant literally crowning Mom Queen for the day, with handmade paper crowns, plastic tiaras, or even floral wreaths. It wasn't a silly gesture, it was a proud acknowledgement that for this one special day, Mom ruled with love and laughter. Children announced her entrance into rooms like royalty, pulled out chairs for her and insisted she not lift a finger. Some families even created mini thrones out of living room armchairs, draping them with blankets or ribbons. Meals were served to her like royal banquets, even if it was pizza on paper plates, and she got the biggest slice of cake. Over time, as Mother's Day became more commercialized, the simple act of playfully exalting Mom faded. Yet those playful, imaginative coronations created lasting memories, and they cost nothing but creativity and love. Maybe this year, instead of pricey spa days, we should bring back crowns, laughter, and treating Mom like the queen she's always been. Once upon a time, Mother's Day wasn't complete without a family talent show staged entirely in her honor. Kids prepared songs, skits, magic tricks, or recited heartfelt poems. Even shy dads or siblings got roped into telling jokes or acting out silly scenes. Living rooms transformed into stages with hairbrush microphones and makeshift curtains. The goal wasn't polished perfection, it was pure love, creativity, and making Mom laugh, or cry, happy tears. Cameras flashed, moms beamed, and the effort behind every off-key note or forgotten line was more touching than any store-bought gift. Over time, Netflix marathons and quick restaurant dinners replaced these personalized performances. But the tradition of crafting something original, just for mom, is priceless. It showed her she was worth planning, rehearsing, and risking a little embarrassment for. Maybe it's time to dust off the ukuleles, gather the family, and let love, raw, real, and unrehearsed, take center stage again. Did your family ever put on shows, songs, or surprises just for mom? Share your most heartwarming or hilarious memories with us in the comments. Before fancy brunches took over, Mother's Day meant home-cooked Sunday dinners, crafted with love by the entire family. It wasn't just about eating, it was about everyone contributing. Dad grilled, kids stirred cake batter, and grandmothers oversaw everything with a knowing eye. Tables overflowed with roast chicken, creamy potatoes, fresh garden salads, and homemade pies cooling on the windowsill. It wasn't rushed, it wasn't to go. It was slow, deliberate, and filled with laughter, spills, and endless second helpings. Moms didn't lift a finger, except maybe to wipe a happy tear when everyone sat down together. Over time, busy schedules and restaurant reservations replaced the homemade tradition. But the memories made around those messy, lively kitchens are irreplaceable. The smell of gravy bubbling, the clatter of silverware, and the simple joy of sitting shoulder to shoulder still linger in many hearts. Maybe the best Mother's Day gift isn't about going out, it's about coming home. And next, we'll remember a forgotten custom that celebrated mom not just with gifts, but with words she could hold on to forever. Not a text, not a quick "love you" on a card. Decades ago, it was common to write mom a real love letter on Mother's Day. Kids and grown-ups alike took pen to paper, pouring out everything they admired, appreciated, and adored. These letters weren't about fancy writing. They were about honesty. Thank you for staying up with me when I was sick. I'm proud to be your child. You make our home a place of magic. Moms kept these handwritten treasures tucked away in drawers or between photo albums, pulling them out on rainy days or hard mornings. Over time, rushed greetings and emojis replaced heartfelt prose. But those letters, they mattered. They were the kind of gift you can't buy, the kind that echoes for decades. This year, imagine giving mom not just flowers or brunch, but a letter full of love she can reread forever. No font or filter can match that kind of magic. Remember those homemade coupon books we once proudly gifted? Each little slip promised treasures. One free hug, one chore-free day, breakfast in bed, drawn in crayon, decorated with stickers, stapled lovingly together. These coupon books gave mom a gift that kept on giving. She could redeem a back massage after a long day, a freshly cleaned kitchen without lifting a finger, or a sweet yes when she needed a little break. The beauty wasn't in the quality of the coupons. It was the promise of time, effort, and thoughtfulness. Over time, gift cards replaced these sweet traditions, trading creativity for convenience. But a homemade coupon book wasn't about expense. It was about offering yourself, your time, your energy. No store-bought present can replace a child's earnest promise to serve, help, and love. Maybe it's time to staple together a few promises again, and remind mom that her greatest gift is having a family willing to show up, heart and hands full. Before TikTok dances and viral videos, many families had a Mother's Day song tradition, singing a special tune just for mom. Sometimes it was a church hymn, a popular love song, or an old folk melody personalized with inside jokes. Families gathered around in the living room or at the dinner table, voices blending, laughter erupting when someone forgot the words or hit the wrong note. It wasn't about talent. It was about trying. It made mom feel serenaded, celebrated, and completely cherished. Sometimes the songs were tearjerkers. Other times, they were hilariously silly. Either way, the feeling was the same. You are our music. Today, pre-recorded playlists and quick streaming links have replaced these live, raw performances. But reviving the tradition of gathering everyone together, guitars, tambourines, off-key voices and all, would give mom a memory that no downloaded song ever could. Because a song sung from the heart, that's a Mother's Day gift worth everything. But next, we'll open the pages of a tradition that gave moms a glimpse into the hearts of their families, one colorful entry at a time. Another beautiful, nearly forgotten tradition, creating a family memory book just for mom. Each family member contributed a page, drawings, letters, photographs, little poems, or funny lists of favorite moments shared with her. Often assembled in simple notebooks or homemade scrapbooks, these collections turned into priceless time capsules of love. Younger kids scribbled silly stick figures. Teenagers added heartfelt notes they'd never dare say aloud. Even pets signed pages with painted paw prints. Moms treasured these homemade books more than any expensive gift. They captured who her family was at that exact moment in time. Over the years, modern life got busier, and handmade keepsakes faded in favor of quick store-bought cards. But a family memory book, that lasts. It's something she can flip through when she misses you, when she needs a laugh, or just to remember she is, and always will be, at the heart of everything. Which of these sweet, old-school traditions would you love to bring back for your mom or your family? Share your thoughts in the comments. It used to be a Mother's Day staple. Children would pin a fresh flower corsage on mom's dress before heading to Sunday church service. Red carnations symbolized a living mother. White carnations honored one who had passed. Little hands proudly fastened blooms onto blouses and cardigans, and churches often shimmered with a sea of bright flowers. Moms wore them all day, each petal a badge of honor, love, and remembrance. Some families even made the corsages themselves, threading ribbons and sprigs of baby's breath together the night before. Over time, as formal Sunday traditions faded, so did the sweet sight of pinned flowers. Yet few gifts spoke louder. You are loved. You are honored. Reviving this beautiful tradition wouldn't require much, just a simple flower, a pin, and a few quiet minutes of recognition. Sometimes the smallest acts, the ones you wear close to your heart, are the ones that say thank you in the ways words never can. Imagine this. Mom wakes up and finds the whole house already cleaned, without asking, without hinting, without reminders. That's what surprise chore-free days once looked like on Mother's Day. Kids and spouses banded together to tackle everything. Laundry folded, dishes sparkling, gardens weeded. Moms weren't allowed to lift a finger. She didn't even have to say, "Could someone?" because someone already had. It wasn't about grand gestures. It was about paying attention and lightening her load. Maybe the bathroom wasn't spotless, or the socks didn't match, but the love was unmistakable. Over the years, this thoughtful tradition has faded under busy schedules and last-minute gifts, but bringing it back could mean more than any bouquet. Giving mom a day where she could simply be, without chores weighing on her, is a powerful way to say, "We see you, we appreciate you, we can take care of you for once." A clean kitchen might just be the most heartfelt gift of all. But coming up next, a tradition that wasn't about cleaning or cooking. It was about simply being together, heart to heart, without the distractions of the modern world. Another forgotten treasure, gathering to hear mom's own life stories. On Mother's Day, after dinner or during quiet afternoons, families once sat around and asked her to share memories. Her childhood adventures, her first job, her biggest dreams. No phones, no distractions, just storytelling. Maybe she recounted riding bikes with sisters down dusty lanes, or working late-night shifts at a diner to save for college, or the way she felt holding her first baby. These stories weren't just entertainment. They were precious threads connecting generations. Often, kids learned things they never knew, about resilience, joy, heartbreak, hope. Today, distracted by screens and endless to-dos, we rarely pause long enough to truly listen. But reviving the simple tradition of asking, "Tell us about when you were young," could be the greatest Mother's Day gift of all. It tells her, your life matters. Your story shaped ours. We honor not just who you are, but where you came from. Before jewelry and spa certificates, children celebrated mom with homemade flower crowns woven from wildflowers, garden roses, or even clover. Twisting stems into circlets wasn't easy. It took patience and little fingers learning from older siblings or dads determined to impress. Moms wore these fragile, beautiful crowns all day, at church, at brunch, sitting proudly in living rooms surrounded by family. Each flower, each knot said, "You are beautiful, you are cherished, you are our queen today." Over time, store-bought bouquets replaced handmade flower wreaths, and the art of crown-making faded. but there was a tenderness in those messy garlands that no florist arrangement can replicate. Reviving this tradition would mean slowing down, using hands and hearts to create something ephemeral yet priceless. A crown of flowers wilts in a day, but the memory of a child's labor, love, and laughter while weaving it, that's the kind of beauty that never fades. There was a time when Mother's Day meant creating a poem or song just for Mom, tailored to her quirks, her loves, and her everyday heroism. Kids would rhyme about how she made the world's best cookies, or sang off-key while driving. Spouses wrote goofy ballads about coffee-fueled mornings and endless hugs. These little creative acts, written in colored pens or sung badly but bravely, brought enormous smiles, and sometimes happy tears. No one worried about perfect rhymes or polished verses. What mattered was the thought, the humor, and the deep love stitched into every line. Today, fast memes and Instagram captions have replaced personal tributes, but there's something irreplaceable about sitting down, thinking about who Mom really is, and turning that love into art. It shows her she's known, seen, and celebrated in a way no store-bought card ever could. Maybe this year, it's time to pick up a pen or a guitar and make Mom the muse again. Which of these sweet and simple traditions would you bring back in your own family? Share your favorite memories, or the ones you wish you had, in the comments. Once upon a time, Mother's Day meant gathering in the living room to watch old home movies or photo slideshows, laughing at baby pictures, cringing at 80s hairstyles, and remembering the moments that shaped a family. Someone would set up a projector or pop in a VHS tape, and the whole room would glow with laughter, tears, and pure nostalgia. Moms loved it. Not just because it showed the good times, but because it reminded everyone how deeply she was woven into every single memory. Today, scrolling through digital albums often feels rushed or impersonal, but back then, it was an event, an experience, a gift of togetherness. Maybe this year it's time to dig out those old tapes, dust off the projector, or create a surprise slideshow of your family's best moments, with Mom at the center of it all. Because honoring her journey visually can be just as meaningful as anything bought from a store, and far more unforgettable. In the past, Mother's Day meals weren't just about cooking Mom's favorite foods. They were about setting a beautiful table with all her favorite things. Her cherished floral tablecloth, the good china normally reserved for holidays, fresh-cut flowers from the garden, maybe even candles. Every detail was a tribute to what Mom loved. Pastel napkins, her grandmother's silverware, a centerpiece filled with her favorite blooms. It wasn't about perfection. It was about making her feel celebrated in her own home. Today, disposable plates or restaurant outings have often replaced this intimate act, but reviving the tradition of thoughtfully setting a table for her could speak volumes. It says, "You matter. We see what makes you happy." And when she sits down surrounded by colors, patterns, and memories that feel like home, she'll know she's not just being fed, she's being honored, cherished, and loved in the most tender, tangible way possible. One of the simplest, most beloved Mother's Day traditions? Letting Mom sleep in. No interruptions, no demands, no "Mom, where's my shoes?" Frantic morning energy. Kids and dads tiptoed around, whispering like agents on a secret mission. Breakfast preparations happened quietly, and the house operated at a hush until Mom naturally wandered out, rested and smiling. It wasn't just about extra sleep. It was about giving her space, peace, and the rare luxury of waking when her body wanted, not when responsibilities called. Over time, as schedules got busier and expectations grew, the simple gift of silence and rest faded. But bringing it back could mean more than any fancy brunch. Giving Mom a morning that's truly hers, unrushed, unbothered, uninterrupted, is a way of saying, "We know how hard you work. Today we protect your peace." Sometimes the most powerful gifts don't make noise. They make room for dreams, for breathing, and for joy. But beyond quiet mornings and beautiful tables, there was a tradition that turned entire neighborhoods into colorful celebrations for every mom in sight. Let's revisit it next. Believe it or not, many small towns once hosted Mother's Day parades, and they were magical. Floats decked out in flowers, school bands marching proudly, kids riding bikes covered in streamers, all to honor mothers publicly and joyfully. Moms lined the sidewalks, waving and beaming as their children marched past holding hand-painted signs that read, "Best Mom Ever." Churches and civic groups often organize these parades, complete with simple awards or a Mother of the Year crowning. Over time, these charming local traditions faded, replaced by bigger commercial celebrations. But the spirit of a community coming together, not for a product launch or a sales event, but for pure gratitude, is something worth rekindling. Maybe it's not about giant parades anymore. Maybe it's about neighborhoods, organizing simple Mother's Day walks, sidewalk chalk messages, or local concerts. Publicly celebrating mothers, loudly, colorfully, joyfully, reminds the world. Behind every strong family, there's a strong woman who deserves to be honored. Years ago, many families created Mom's Choice Day, where everything was decided by her. What to eat, her choice. What movie to watch, her choice. Whether to nap, picnic, bake, or read all afternoon, absolutely her call. No debates, no grumbling, no vetoes. It was her day, her way, all the way. Children might suggest wild activities, but ultimately, it was about giving Mom complete agency to do everything or nothing at all. It flipped the script on everyday family life, where moms often had to balance everyone else's needs first. Sadly today, even Mother's Day often gets crowded with what the family wants to do. But reviving Mom's Choice Day would bring back a powerful message. Your voice matters most today. Whether she wants to dance in the living room or binge her favorite classic movies, giving her freedom, with no guilt attached, is one of the truest acts of love a family can offer. Which of these heartfelt traditions would you love to see come back? Share your memories or your plans to revive them in the comments. Let's make Mother's Day magical again. Back in the day, kids didn't just bring home art. They framed it for Mother's Day, and it became permanent decor. Lopsided hearts, fingerprint flowers, stick figure families, all proudly encased in cheap plastic frames or hand-painted cardboard borders. Moms displayed these masterpieces on bedroom walls, kitchen shelves, or next to wedding photos. The art wasn't just a gift, it was a statement. This matters. You made this for me. And it stayed there for years, becoming part of the home's fabric. As time went on, art projects became refrigerator clutter, or worse, tossed after a few days. But the act of preserving a child's creation said something profound. It told Mom, "What you do inspires me to create, and what I make for you deserves to last." Framing art, no matter how messy or simple, turned it into legacy. Maybe this year, we revisit this tradition and give Mom a gallery of love that never goes out of style. Another beautiful, now rare tradition? Planting something together on Mother's Day. A flower bed, a rose bush, even a fruit tree. It wasn't about instant beauty, but about growing something that would last. Families dug into the earth as a team, with kids handing Mom the seeds or watering can. Sometimes the plant marked a baby's first year, or simply honored a shared love of gardening. Over the months and years, that tree or bloom became more than just a plant. It became a living memory. Every blossom reminded her of the day her hands were in the soil alongside the ones she raised. Today we're quick to give cut flowers, but living ones, they offer roots, blooms, and permanence. Replanting this tradition is simple, meaningful, and deeply symbolic. We're growing this life with you. We're tending love together. And long after the day ends, the petals still whisper, "Thank you, Mom." Some families once made Mother's Day time capsules, a shoebox or jar filled with that year's mementos, drawings, letters, photos, even tiny objects like baby socks or favorite candies. Everyone in the family added one item and wrote a note explaining why. The capsule was sealed, dated, and set aside to open on a future Mother's Day, 5, 10, even 20 years later. When opened, laughter, tears, and joy erupted as memories long buried resurfaced in full color. These weren't just keepsakes, they were emotional bridges. The tradition reminded families that moments matter, that time is fleeting, and that love can be saved like treasure. Today, our photos live in clouds, and memories vanish into digital dust. But a real, touchable box filled with affection, that's timeless. Reviving this tradition gives Mom something beyond the present, something she'll unwrap years later and feel, once again, how deeply loved she truly was. Families once honored Mom visually by wearing her favorite color on Mother's Day. Whether it was pink, lavender, green, or blue, everyone coordinated as a quiet, powerful tribute. Photos from those days are filled with matching outfits and smiling faces. But more than that, they show intention. It wasn't about fashion. It was about thoughtfulness. It said, "We know you, we see you, we celebrate everything you love, even in the clothes we wear today." Moms would often tear up seeing their family dressed in her color. Sometimes flowers and table decorations matched too, creating a beautiful harmony she didn't expect. Today, this tradition is almost unheard of, replaced by whatever's clean or comfortable, but returning to it would be easy and impactful. Wearing her favorite color isn't just a cute idea, it's a silent, radiant symbol that this day belongs to her. One simple color, worn in unity, can say what words sometimes can't. And finally, one more tradition that made every mother feel not just appreciated, but deeply understood. One of the most intimate Mother's Day rituals was the reading aloud moment, when each family member shared one thing they loved about Mom, spoken directly to her. It didn't need to be long. One child might say, "You make the best bedtime stories," while another added, "You make me feel safe." Spouses shared quiet praise. Teens, even if reluctantly, offered something that always made Moms smile. This wasn't a roast. It was reverent, simple, and raw. Tears were common. So was laughter. It gave Mom something so few ever receive: words of love, spoken face to face. In our digital world, where texts and captions replace conversation, this ritual has quietly disappeared. But reviving it could turn a meal or moment into something unforgettable. Speaking from the heart, out loud, is powerful. It affirms everything she hopes is true, and it makes Mother's Day less about gifts and more about truth. You are loved, and we see exactly why. Which of these long-lost traditions do you wish would return in your family? Or better yet, what new one will you start this year? Share below. We'd love to hear your story. I hope you enjoyed this journey through heartfelt Mother's Day traditions. Let's bring them back, one memory at a time, because every mom deserves to feel seen, loved, and remembered. Until next time.